Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of our YouTube series, Proverbs, God's Encouragement for You. Today, we'll be going through chapter 11 of Proverbs today. And as we get started, before we get started, if you guys have not watched my previous videos, definitely go check them out. If you want to follow along with me as we go through Proverbs, you can start the first episode in chapter 1 and then follow us along through the rest of Proverbs. So today at chapter 11, I had a couple verses I wanted to highlight specifically for you guys today. Starting in verse 1 through 5, starts here saying, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treachery destroys them. Riches do not profit in the day of the wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless keep his way straight, but the wicked falls by his own wickedness." So there's a lot to unpack in these first several verses, and I specifically wanted to look at verse 2, and this one might sound familiar to some of you guys. It says, "When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom." So this might also sound familiar with the saying, pride comes before the fall. And that's what it's talking about. When you become very prideful, the way I like to see is when you become prideful, you get a very big ego. And when you get a big ego, it gets heavy, and then you topple over, basically. Or you're just blind and arrogant to what you are doing, and you could trip and hurt yourself. But pride is such a dangerous thing to fall into, because it blinds you from the truth, and it blinds you from what is going on around you. So that's what it's saying here. When the pride comes, then there's disgrace. You disgrace yourself, you hurt yourself, you harm yourself. So be careful. Be like what we mentioned the couple chapters before. Be humble yourselves, and be wise and honoring of people who, when they give you wisdom, do not push them away. Be prideful of that, but engage and be like, "Oh, thank you for telling me this. This is very wise of you. I'll definitely keep this in mind for later." It's important that you take other people's wisdom, especially if it is given from God as well. But and the second part of that say, but a just weight is his delight. Just once again, don't be prideful, be wise, be smart with your decisions. Verse 4 I really liked as well. Say, "Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death." One thing I really liked out of this is we see a lot of people live their life based on what they have, all the things that they own here. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Everything's going to get destroyed. So the things we hold on to here won't matter in the end. So riches do not profit in the day of wrath. Say, the things that we build up here physically won't matter when God comes down and faces his wrath on the people. But righteousness delivers from death. Wisdom and righteousness are more valuable, like what I mentioned before, is more valuable than any precious stone or gold or emerald that we could ever have on this planet. It's way more valuable. So take note of that. It's very important. In verse 8 it says, "The righteousness is delivered from trouble. The wicked walks into it instead." I like this verse because once again, it brings out the pride and humble part of people. When we're prideful, we become arrogant. And when people are prideful and arrogant, they have their head up. And a lot of times, when you have your head up like this, you can't see where you're walking, right? You're kind of blind. You just see like the sky. And when you're pride and arrogant, you don't see the big, massive, gaping hole in front of you that you're about to fall in. But those who are righteous and are full of wisdom and are humble choose to look in front of them and be like, "Oh, look, there's a hole there. I should probably walk around it." Or notice that there's a sign that says, "Don't walk here." I just love the metaphorical sense that they put there, because it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's such a real experience. Like, I've had moments in my life where I was arrogant, I was prideful, I was dumb, and I regretted it. I made a big mistake. Verse 17, go down to verse 17, it says, "A man who is kind benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself." I love this verse because it shows just the encouragement of kindness wins. Being kind always pays off. When you're mean, jerkish, and stupid, you don't get anything out of it. Like, think of it as, not like gambling, but like, when you gamble on a bad hand, you're not going to win anything. But like, actually no, sorry, that was a bad example. I don't know why I thought of that, but like, think of it's like when you choose to do something good, it's benefits in the long run, because in your heart you're like, you know what, I did something good. I helped someone with that. I made someone's day, like whether that's making them laugh, making them smile, anything like that. Being good benefits in the long run. But when you're mean and stupid, you really think people are going to help you when you need it? Probably not. So keep that in mind for in the future. Being kind always pays off. And verse 19, it says, "Whoever is steadfast in righteousness will live, but he who pursues evil will die." The easiest way to put this is when we choose to follow God, we will live. We will live a long life. We will live forever in heaven. But when we choose to live in evil, live in sin, live in darkness, following Satan, following Lucifer, we're going to live in torment and in hell and all that terrible stuff. And you don't want that. I don't know about you, but I want to live my life worshiping and praising God and living in eternity in the best place possible. I don't want to spend my life burning and rotting and all that horrible stuff. I don't want to live that life. And following with verse 20, it says, "Those of crooked heart are an abomination to the Lord, but those of blameless ways are in his delight." So abomination is a very big word. Another way of putting it in this context is saying it is horrid. Like, God despises it. Now, obviously, all sin is abomination, but that just shows you how big of a deal this is. Like, living a life of sin and hatred, like, God hates that. That's why he died on the cross, because he loves you so much that he wanted to take that away from you. But because of our free will, people still choose to live in that. And it's rough to see, if I'm being honest. And it's just really hard to see that. So it's just encouragement, like, don't be that kind of person that's in the streets tearing people down. We should be lifting people up. Whether we know them or not, whether they're good or bad, we should always be uplifting to everyone we meet. Because who knows? It could be an opening gate to them getting to know Jesus. Verse 30 and 31 I really like as well. It says, "The fruit of the righteous is the tree of life, and whoever captures souls is wise." If the righteous is repaid on earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? So this one I really like, because so many people ask this question of, why is there so much death, hatred, and sin in this world? Why can't God get rid of it? It's like, well, he's tried, and he has. But because of our free will, it's just going to keep happening and happening. That's why he died on the cross. But I love it because it's such an encouragement for people who have asked that question. It says, if righteousness is repaid on earth. So people who are God blesses for choosing to follow him and do good deeds. If God can repay that, how much more do you think he is going to destroy the wicked and the sinner? Like 3 times fold. So it's like, we don't need to worry about that. God is in control. He will handle the situation. And I just want to end this episode with that encouragement for you guys. Be wise, guys. Be smart. And in the long run, be kind to people. Show God's love to others, whether you know them or not, good or bad. That kindness can spread. That little seed, that kindness that you plant, can spread into a beautiful tree where they can grow in Christ, get to know him, and even spread it to other people. And that's something I want to encourage you guys with. And I hope this is an encouragement for you guys. I know this is an encouragement for me. I hope you guys have a great day, great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.